Welcome back. Now, in the last video, we saw the criterions laid down by Benjamin Graham for stock selection. We have reproduced two of these here. The first criterion is that the price of earnings ratio should be less than 15, and the second criterion is that the price to book value ratio should be less than 1.5. Graham recommended looking at stocks with price to earnings of less than 15 and price to book value of less than 1.5. More broadly, he recommended that in no case the price to earnings multiplied by the price to book value should exceed 22.5 for the stock. Now, this concept is used to derive a figure known as the Graham number. Graham number is supposed to represent the upper bound of the price range that a defensive investor may pay for a stock. Some people suggest Graham number represents the intrinsic value of the company if it continues to grow at a steady rate. One may take it further and say that any company that is trading below this number may represent a potential opportunity if it is going to continue to grow at its current pace or maybe at a better pace than the current pace. So suppose if you see a company trading considerably below this number, say at a price to earnings of 10, and say you also figure out that it is likely to continue to grow at least at its current rate, then the odds are when many participants realize this, they would be ready to pay a higher price than they are currently willing to pay, which will result in the price of the stock going up. If the company ends up growing at a faster rate, then the market may as well be willing to pay a much higher price. Now, Graham's suggestion was to look at companies with sound business who are trading at a discount to their intrinsic value of the business. Now, this may lead you to believe that maybe the Graham number represents the intrinsic value of the business, but Graham and his disciples like Warren Buffett have always warned against attaching too much importance to any one number. So, Graham number may be good to give you a sense of the value of business, but you should remember that intrinsic value actually represents a broad price range rather than a precise number. When a decent business is trading substantially below the intrinsic value, there is a good chance that when the market recognizes its worth, it will be willing to pay a substantially higher price for it than it currently is. Now, this is the premise on which value investing is based, but you might also wonder that if you can never be sure of the exact intrinsic value of the business, then how can you decide if you should invest in it or not? Now, I am sharing with you an example which John Dorsey of Morningstar fame shared in his book, The Little Book That Builds Wealth. John says that he had eyes on a company that had been growing at 30% over few years, but for a variety of reasons, things hit a wall and the sales slowed down to 10%. Meanwhile, the stock price dropped by about 50% from previous year's peak. As he describes it, he was sure that the company had plenty of room to grow and that the business in itself was competitive, but he wasn't sure going forward if the company would grow at 15% and may be able to regain its growth rate of 30%. In his own words, this is how he explains why he still decided to buy the stock. Quote, "While I did not know exactly what corporate executive boards' share were worth, I did know that the stock price at the time implied that the market was assuming a 10% growth rate. So my task was to simply decide how likely it was that the company would never grow faster than 10%. But on my research, I thought that that was a very unlikely outcome, and so I bought the stock. If the company returned to a 15% growth rate, my investment would do pretty well, and if the company returned to a 20% growth rate, I would have a home run. Only if the company deaccelerated to a single digit growth rate would I lose money, and I thought the odds of that happening were acceptably low." Unquote. This idea has been repeated in different forms by both Benjamin Graham and Warren Buffett over the years. So basically, you need not know what exactly the stock is worth or what exactly the future might bring. But if you can get a fair sense that the future would likely be better than what the current prices are implying, and you make sure that you don't overpay for it, then that is probably all you need to know to successfully invest for the long run. I'm also going to share with you guys Warren Buffett's critique for finding the exact intrinsic value. In his critique for finding the exact intrinsic value, Warren Buffett had the same thought process in his mind when he said, quote, "It is better to be approximately right than precisely wrong." I'll conclude this lecture with Benjamin Graham's word on the topic. Quote, "The essential point is that security analysis does not seek to determine exactly what the intrinsic value of a given security is. It needs only to establish that the value is adequate to justify a stock purchase, or else that the value is considerably higher or considerably lower than the market price. For such purpose, an indefinite and approximate measure of the intrinsic value may be sufficient."